Hi there, I'm Stephanie. I have a brief practice to share with you that's designed to be warming and energizing. So it might be good to practice in the morning or anytime that you need a little bit of an extra lift in your day, a pep in your step. If you like to have props, you might want to grab a blanket and two blocks or something that can be used as blocks. We'll get started in a seated position with hips on the heels. If that feels like a lot for your knees, you can certainly add a block or two blocks under your butt. Give yourself a little bit of lift. And wiggle yourself into your seat. Place your palms in your lap and then turn palms to face up. If you'd like, you can close your eyes. We'll just start with a few mindful breaths. Relax your shoulders, find some stillness. As you inhale, notice your breath drawing into your low belly, traveling up the length of your spine, inflating your ribs, your lungs into your heart center. And then exhale, pouring out of you in reverse. Inhale, imagine drinking in sunshine. Exhale, release any tension or stress. Take one more inhale, notice your cells come alive as they receive that oxygen. And then exhale, find some buoyancy. If you close your eyes, go ahead and open them. Move any blocks out of the way. I'm going to turn to the side. We're going to start moving here. So reset in your seated position. And then when you're ready, as you inhale, press up to kneeling, arms reach out to the sides, overhead, fingers way up high. And then exhale, palms draw to heart center as you lower your seat to your heels. One more time. Inhale, arms reach up. Big stretch, maybe you squeeze your shoulders towards your ears. And then exhale, lower and soften back down to the mat. We'll add on here. So inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, side bend to your right. Inhale, back through center. Exhale, side bend left. Inhale, reach through center. This time, exhale, reach your arms forward as your torso leans back. Big stretch. Inhale, come back through center. Exhale, palms to heart center, sink back down. Inhale, arms reach up, maybe gaze up. We'll take a twist. So exhale, twist to your right. Goalpost your arms. Inhale, reach through center. Exhale, twist to your left. Goalpost your arms. Inhale, reach through center. Exhale, lean back, fingertips reaching way far forward. Inhale, exhale, soften back down to the earth. Let's combine the side bends and the twist. Inhale, press up. Exhale, side bend to your right. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, side bend to your left. Inhale, reach up high. Exhale, twist to your right. Maybe gaze over your back shoulder. Inhale through center. Exhale, twist to your left. See if you can gaze over your back shoulder. Inhale, last time reaching up. Exhale, biggest stretch yet. Lean back, activate your core. Inhale. Exhale, soften back down to seated. Go ahead, lower your palms onto the mat, come into table. Make sure your shoulders are stacked over your wrists and your hips over your knees. Take some big circles. Finding all four corners of the mat. Then reverse the direction of the circle. Move into all of your joints, your hips, your shoulders. Maybe even you roll your head and neck a little bit. And then meet me in neutral table. We'll start with cat-cow. So inhale, melt your belly forward, reach your sit bones way back. Think of reaching your heart forward, squeezing your shoulder blades together. Exhale, press the mat away from you, tuck your tailbone round your spine, relax your chin to your chest. Inhale, melt your belly for cow pose. You might add some shifts or wiggles, anything that feels really good. Exhale, cat pose. Big stretches. Inhale one more time. Cow pose, feel your collarbone broaden. Then exhale, big stretch in the spine. This time, drag your hips back towards your heels and then slide your palms forward, come into devotional pose or Bhaktasana. You might shimmy your knees a little bit further apart, draw your big toes to touch. Relax your forehead down towards the mat, whether it touches or not. Just see if you can relax your head and neck. Take a big inhale, feel your breath traveling up through the sides of your body. And exhale, soften into your mat. On your next inhale, press back to table. Again, neutral spine, making nice right angles, 90 degrees. Extend your right leg back. Maybe you rock a little bit into the ball of your foot. And when you're ready, lift your leg about hip height. Flex that back foot, toes pointing down. Engage your core here. On your next inhale, reach your left arm alongside your left ear. So long line of energy from fingers out through heel. On an exhale, curl your elbow to meet your knee around your spine. Inhale, stretch like taffy. Exhale, draw your knee towards your elbow. And this time, lower your left palm to the mat. Step your right foot through, so it's in between both palms. We're coming into a low lunge. Walk your palms up your knee. When you're ready, arms sweep alongside your ears. Shift your hips forward and down any amount. Make sure your right knee is stacked directly over right ankle. And breathe. Rotate your pinky fingers in toward one another. Squeeze your inner thighs together. Imagine that you're dragging your right foot back and your left knee forward. So really activating all those small muscles. Energizing, starting to feel alive in the pose. Take an inhale, maybe your fingertips reach a little bit higher. Exhale, side bend to your right. So hand can come to a block or your hip or your leg. As you inhale, come back through center. Stay for your exhale, squeeze all those leg muscles. Inhale, cactus your arms, take your heart up towards the sky, almost like you're receiving energy from the sun. Then exhale, release, come back through center. Take one more inhale, then exhale, float your palms to the mat. Take your right hand, place it to the inside of your right foot. Heel toe that right foot out a little bit to the outer edge of the mat. Take some big circles, working into that right hip. Just opening, trying to soften. Reverse the direction of that circle. And then heel toe your right foot back to the center of the mat. Take your right palm to the outer edge. Step your right foot back to table. We'll do the other side. Inhale, take your left foot back. Maybe you rock a little bit. Take some circles. As you're ready, lift your left leg about hip height. Really engage the leg muscles. Flex into your foot. When you're ready, right arm reaches alongside right ear. Feel your core engage and support you from the underneath. Inhale, grow longer out through your fingertips and your back heel. Exhale, round your spine. Draw your knee to elbow. Big crunch, big squeeze. Inhale, stretch long like taffy. Exhale, draw your elbow to knee. This time, plant your right palm. Step your left foot through between your hands. As you're ready, walk your palms up to your front knee and then reach arms alongside your ears. Shift your hips down and forward any amount. And again, you can always use a blanket here to pad your knee. You can always use blocks for support. Start squeezing your inner thigh muscles together. Imagine you're pressing into your left heel, dragging it backwards, dragging your right knee forward. Really active in this lunge. As you inhale, fingertips reach higher, then exhale, side bend to your left. Big stretch in the right side body. Inhale, come back through center, then exhale, stay right where you are. Inhale, cactus your arms, shine your heart up. Squeeze your elbows, they're pulling towards one another. Exhale, pull your navel back in towards your spine. Take one more inhale. Exhale, float your palms to the mat. Take your left palm to the inside of your left foot. Start heel toeing that left foot to the outer edge of the mat. And then take your big circles. And just easing into your left hip. And then reverse the direction of your circles. Start heel toeing your left foot back through center. Replace your left palm to the outside edge. Step your left foot back into table. Take your big toes to touch. Take your knees wider. Sink your hips back for Bhaktasana, devotional pose one more time. Big breath into the back of your body. And then exhale, maybe you sigh it out. As you inhale, make your way to table. Take your knees back to hip distance apart. Walk your palms about a foot forward. We're going to come onto our belly. So as you shift your shoulders forward over your wrists, hug your elbows into your side, lower all the way down. I'm going to scoot myself back just a little bit. Take your palms, plant them outside of your ribs. Again, hug your elbows in toward one another. You might tap your feet and legs a little bit. Feel the shoelace side of your feet really connect with the mat. Engage your leg muscles, press them down into the mat. As you inhale, peel your head, neck, and shoulders off the mat for Bhujangasana, Cobra pose. And then exhale, lower back down. Inhale, peel yourself off the mat. Squeeze those elbows and shoulder blades together along your backside body. Exhale, lower down. One more time, inhale, peel yourself off the mat. This time, maybe you hover your fingers and palms just a little bit above the mat, and then place them back on the mat. This time, take your forearms in front of you, coming into Sphinx pose. So your fingers are spread wide, your shoulders are over your elbows. Maybe you shift a little bit side to side, really feel your hip points connect with the mat. Grip the mat with your fingertips and your palms. Imagine that you're pulling the mat back to slide your heart forward in space. You might notice your shoulders curling in or crunching up towards your ears. See if you can roll them back down. Get long in the back of your neck. Just gaze over the bridge of your nose. Keep this pose very active. Draw your left ear to left shoulder. Draw your chin to your chest. Draw your right ear to right shoulder. And draw your head back through center. We'll switch sides. So draw your right ear to right shoulder. Draw your chin to your chest. Left ear to left shoulder. Draw your head back through center. Exhale, lower all the way down to your belly. Take your arms long in front of you. So feeling kind of like Superman, Superwoman. Ground your hip points and your legs into the mat. Really press them down firmly. Take your pinkies to touch the mat. So your palms are facing one another. Your thumbs are on top. As you inhale, lift your arms up. Peel your head, neck, and shoulders off the mat. And then exhale, lower back down. This time, keep your upper body planted. Inhale, make your legs so long that they start to lift off the mat. Exhale, lower them back down. We're going to combine the two. So inhale, stretch really, really long. Lift shoulders, head and neck, arms, legs off the mat. Hold here. Again, think of growing longer rather than crunching into a U shape. The goal is length. Exhale, lower back down. Inhale, take your palms, plant them on either side of your ribs. Exhale, press into table and sink your hips back for Bhaktasana or devotional pose. Take a big inhale. Again, feel alive with that fresh oxygen traveling to all your cells, helping your heart pump blood, helping your brain function. As you exhale, release tension. Release any negativity that you don't need. Inhale, press yourself up to table. You've got one more kind of pose to play around with. Lower onto your forearms and elbows. And then clasp opposite forearms, opposite bicep, just to set up your foundation. From the clasp, take your hands right out in front of you, clasp your fingers, and then press your pinky side into the mat. Make sure your hips are stacked directly over your knees. So in other words, you're not bending at an acute angle. We're looking for right angles here. Didn't think I'd use geometry today, but here we go. Inhale, take a cow pose with your spine. So reach your sit bones way back, melt your belly towards the mat. Exhale, cat pose. So really round into your spine, relax your head and neck, press your forearms into the mat. You might notice more of a shoulder stretch here. Inhale for cow pose. Exhale for cat pose. Stay right here. So shoulders are strong, spine is rounded. So keep everything the same and then just tuck your toes underneath you. Take a moment to feel into this pose. Notice which muscles are active and working. When you're ready, try pressing your knees away from the mat and extending your legs. So dolphin pose. You can pedal your feet here. You can stretch into one calf and then the other. You might walk your feet in a little bit closer and feel your chest puff up. Keep those shoulders strong. Same activation in the shoulder girdle as though you were doing cat pose. Maybe you even float one leg off the mat. And if you take one side, then take the other so that you're nice and balanced. And keep pressing down into the mat to lift your shoulders further away from the ground. March your feet back, little tiptoes back. As you're ready, lower your knees to the mat. Sink your hips back towards your heels. And this time, even often, you can keep your palms stretched in front of you, or perhaps you sweep them behind you and let your forehead fall forward. Again, you can always use a prop underneath your forehead to bring the mat closer to you. If your forehead is touching a prop, maybe you shake your head side to side, massage that space between your brow and your third eye center. Take one more big inhale, expand to your widest yet. Exhale, big sigh out. Let go of effort, let go of tension. And then let go of any effort regarding your breath. Just breathe naturally and normally without too much thought. On your next inhale, lift your gaze. Maybe you press your palms underneath you, come back to seated. Shift onto one hip, and then sweep your legs out in front of you. You might take a blanket underneath you. We'll finish with bridge pose and then wind reliever. So set your blanket up so it's about an inch thick. Roll onto your back. The top of the blanket should line up with the top of your shoulders, and your head and neck should be off the mat. Off the blanket, resting on your mat. So step your feet in so the soles are on the mat. Your feet are about hip distance apart. Your knees are stacked directly over your ankles. Take your hands by your sides. Start to shimmy your shoulder blades underneath you, so closer together. You might notice your chest puff up a little bit. From here, keep your gaze straight ahead, so you're looking at the ceiling. Try not to turn your head so that you protect your neck. You want to keep it straight ahead. Press down through all four corners of both feet. Press so hard that your hips begin to float upward and back towards your shoulders. And notice the weight shift into your shoulders. Maybe you notice the length in the back of your neck. Keep pressing those hips up and back. Take one more inhale, and then exhale, slowly lower down one vertebrae at a time. Take your feet as wide as the mat. Allow your knees to knock in and touch one another. Maybe even windshield wiper your legs so your knees shift side to side. And then replace the soles of the feet on the mat so they're hip distance apart. Relax the shoulders out from underneath you if they were still squeezing together. Lift your feet off the mat, bend your knees 90 degrees, shins are parallel to the mat. As you inhale, draw your knees in towards your chest. Exhale, peel your head, neck, and shoulders off the mat. Give yourself a squeeze. Inhale, lower back down. Exhale, float the knees away from you just for a moment. Inhale, knees come back in towards the chest. Exhale, squeeze into a tight ball. Big squeeze, big hug. Inhale, lower shoulders, neck, and head. Exhale, float your knees away. Take any final pose. Maybe it's a happy baby. Maybe it's a big stretch. Might not be a yoga pose, could just be anything that your body's calling out for. And then when you're ready, draw your knees in toward your chest. You can rock and roll along the length of your spine. Get up enough momentum until you can roll up to a seat. We'll end with one final moment of stillness, a couple of conscious breaths. This time, leave your eyes open and just soften your gaze down the bridge of your nose. Maybe you draw one hand to your heart and one to your belly. One last conscious inhale together, again, through the nostrils, filling up with energy, and then exhale, sighing everything out that you don't need to carry with you throughout your day. Draw your palms to heart center. Give yourself thanks for showing up and joining me in this practice. If you'd like, you can draw your thumbs to third eye center. Give yourselves a bow. And I hope that was energizing and warming and gives you a nice start to your day and whatever you have ahead of you. Thanks so much.